Now, preeclampsia and eclampsia are among the leading causes of maternal deaths in Kenya. In Kisumu, the numbers are rising. But why are mothers still dying in a country where 9 in 10 births are attended by skilled professionals? This story investigates the deadly mix of delays that turn manageable pregnancy complications like eclampsia into fatal emergencies. We follow the stories of mothers who faced life-threatening pregnancy complications caused by hypertension, the gaps in emergency care, and discover how Kisumu is trying to break the cycle of loss.
Across 3 decades of births, Jessica Omwok's hands have been a map of the young arrivals to Manyata village in Kisumu. Keeper of its first cries and its oldest secrets.
Kusalisha mi iko na dawa natafuna tu. Within 5 minutes mtoto iko nje.
Jessica says she handles all manner of pregnancy-related complications.
Iko wengine kama nashika mimba iko na complication ya hiyo na kichwa naumwa natapika. Hakuna uchovu, mguu na fora. Kama mimi napatia hiyo combination inakuwa tu sawa.
To her, these are spirits to be soothed with ground herbs and whispered prayers. But in medical terms, those headaches, dizzy spells, swollen feet, coupled with a surge in blood pressure and protein in the urine, are the warning shots of preeclampsia. It strikes between 20 weeks of pregnancy and the fragile days after birth. When seizures start or a coma takes hold, it becomes eclampsia. For mother and child, this is the edge of danger. Delay can be fatal. In Kisumu, many expectant mothers place their faith in women like her. In 2021, fewer than 7 in every 10 births were guided by skilled hands, in a county where mothers still die too often.
We realize that the cultural ethics or the cultural fabric is not something you can change. If you strongly believe in A, it's very difficult to change you, but we can work with A to deliver what we want. So we actually encourage the TBS to come with the mothers.
By 2024, through effort and insistence, skilled deliveries climbed to every 9 in 10. And yet, death's shadow still hovers over the county's women.
What does that mean for anybody? It means then that because you have a high-skilled birth attendants, it means that these people come to the facility, but you still lose them. So what could be the problem?
The answer lies in what happens after a woman walks through the hospital door. Maureen Waka's loss still burns in her chest. Her home should have been filled with the laughter of 4 children, but her body remembers the small flame, doused too soon. It started when she was only 26 weeks along.
Migundo zilianza kufura, then kuchoka. Alafu hata nikitembea saa zingine nilikuwa naona ni kama naona kizunguzungu. I was not able to, sikuwa naona vizuri. Ndio sasa nikaanza kushuku,
They were the first warning shots of preeclampsia. At the clinic, the numbers confirmed it. Her blood pressure was climbing.
Huyo mwenye alinipima vitals ananiambia tu pressure yako ni kama iko juu, lakini next tutakuja kupima. Sasa sikujua ni mbaya aje kiasi gani. Ndio nikarudi nyumbani. In fact, sikumaliza nifike hiyo next visit. Kenye ilifanya mpaka nikadraw alarm nikaenda kwa hospitali, nilianza kuona some blood spots. Wakanipima, wakaniambia there's nothing much, but I need to do an ultrasound. Ilikuwa inahitajika around 900 shillings. Nikaambia daktari sina saa hizi, akaniambia enda utafute pesa. Nikarudi nyumbani. Kitambo nifike kwa nyumba yangu nikitembea pole pole na hiyo condition nilikuwemo, nilifika around 6. Usiku wa kitu around saa 6:30 ya usiku. Nikaona tumbo inaanza kuniuma sana. Nikachukua hiyo Panadol nilikuwa nimepewa nikameza. the pain haikuisha, na penye ninaishi insecurities ziko. Nilibaki na option ya kuvumilia mpaka asubuhi. Kwa bahati mbaya bleeding ikaanza kuongezeka. From there ndio nikashtukia tu hiyo ujauzito ikatoka. After 2 days nilirudi district. So nilikuwa naomba tu hata ningeona tu hata sura ya huyo daktari. Nilikuwa najaribu kujiuliza kwa roho yangu kwani alinionaje mpaka akanirudisha nyumbani. Na ukiangalia pesa yenye unaambiwa ufanye nayo ultrasound na maisha ya mtoto, at least wangeangalia njia nyingine ya kunisaidia.
Maureen's miscarriage was not an exception. It was a signal. In 2021, eclampsia accounted for just 29% of all stillbirths in Kisumu. By 2025, over half of stillbirths were associated with eclampsia. A year later, the warning returned. The symptoms refused to fade with her 4th pregnancy.
Akaniambia, unasikia uchungu? Nikamwambia sijasikia uchungu sana, lakini maji ndio imepasuka. Akaniambia, mama irudi nyumbani. Nikamwambia hapana, venye ninasikia saa 6 toka nirudi, itabidi mnisaidie. Sister mwenye alikuwa hapa akaamua akanichukua vitals, wakapata pressure ziko juu. Baadaye ndio wakakuja wakasema ati tumefanya test ya mkojo, umepatikana kuna proteins. So kwa daktari ndio nilisikia kama wanaongelezana ati +2. So mimi nikatoka hata nikasema +2 kwa nini?
Doctors moved quickly and administered magnesium sulfate to hold back the seizures before delivering the news that stilled the room.
Kitu ya kwanza ukisikia CS, unaona ni kama sasa wewe uko between life and death. In fact hata hiyo life ukuagi wekangi kwa kichwa. Unajuanga wewe sasa ni tayari ni mufu, wewe umesha kufa, unangoja tu utangazwe. So wakati niliambiwa kwenda CS, mara ya kwanza nilijaribu kukaa mgumu, nikamwambia mbona nisi push tu na nizae penya wengine niko nao wili nilipush na nikaza. Ndio akaniambia hapana. Time yenye itachukua mpaka ukue full dilated, that's the language walitumia. Pressure zitakuwa bado zimekuumiza na mtoto pia atakuwa ameshachoka.
In Kisumu, 1 in 4 women arriving for antenatal care already carries the silent markers of preeclampsia. Eclampsia cases have been climbing steadily from 196 in 2021 to 253 in 2025, claiming 16 lives along the way. While the entire county feels the pressure, Kisumu Central sits in the eye of the storm. As the urban epicenter, it bears the heaviest burden, recording between 77 and 126 cases annually.
Mothers are coming in hypertensive even within their first pregnancies. So that has made us as a county to really think out of the box. What can we do about this? And why is this hitting us? Globally, it is known that postpartum hemorrhage is a main cause of maternal mortality. But in Kisumu, we are actually 50-50 with hypertensive disorders where eclampsia falls and postpartum hemorrhage.
Inside the walls of Lumumba Sub-County Hospital, a level 4 facility in the restless heart of Kisumu, these statistics take on a human face.
The women who are more predisposed are younger and slightly older women who are presenting with their first pregnancy. So teenage pregnancies are definitely at a higher risk. So the case that stood out for me was a couple who had attempted to conceive for a very long time, and finally they conceived in their 40s. The patient developed preeclampsia during pregnancy as anticipated, was managed to try to push the pregnancy to term, but eventually we had to deliver early at about 34 weeks. And well, it was not a very interesting outcome after that because she developed kidney failure and ultimately lost her life. Before they get hypertension, I will say they should have preconception care, because prevention is better than running around treating a disease that has already occurred. So during preconception care, we were able to assess risk for preeclampsia and also during antenatal care. And so it was at the tail end of things. I would have wished to meet the patient a bit early on in their pregnancy. Yeah.
In Kisumu, artificial intelligence is stepping in, helping lower-level facilities flag high-risk pregnancies before they become emergencies. A traffic light system for survival, green for safety, yellow for caution, and red for immediate danger.
So once you enter the vitals, okay, we already know as a midwife, I already know that this pressure is high. But when I enter in wonder, it's also going to stratify. Whether it's mild, moderate, or high risk, wonder will tell you what to do to that client. It will even tell you refer. Give this, and this, then you refer.
A human being makes a diagnosis. So the AI tells the clinician that this one will need to be referred for an ultrasound because there's something wrong in it. So all these constellations are to help the health worker at a lower level to ensure that she's doing the right thing.
Lynette Omondi's story bends in a different direction, away from loss and towards a life that holds on. Her son is a healthy, thriving little miracle who arrived at 37 weeks against all odds. Her pregnancy journey was a gamble with shadows. She had dismissed the looming signs of preeclampsia as mere pregnancy discomforts, delaying her first clinic visit until her belly finally betrayed her secret to her sister and the world.
Nikishaamka tu hivi, I'm like, why? Hey. Na feel vibaya, hebu acha nipumzike hapa. Hakuna kenye nilikuwa nafanya kwa sistangu. Sasa yeye pia anaboeka, anasema huyo Lynette kazi yake tu ni kukaa. Na pia wangu ninaenda clinic, nikamwambia clinic ndo nilienda juzi, I'm just okay, I'm fine. Later on nikiangalia headache ndo naambia mimi naumwa na kichwa but na mezanga dawa. By then I used to buy some meds kwa pharmacy, Panadol, sometimes ikizidi sana nanunua Zulu, but for her being that she has kids akaniambia hapana, hebu twende Hosi.
Her sister had recognized the rhythm, the pounding headaches, the dizziness, blurry vision, and feet that seemed to have outgrown their shoes. She had walked this path before in her last pregnancy.
Unajua kama uko na malaria kuna dalili nyingine, lakini hii kichwa uko na headache nyingine yenye ukwangi nayo normal. Then kuona sio rahisi uone tu clearly. Hata mtoto akikuja na kazi ya ziada akwambie mami nisaidie, uwezi msaidia. Immediately venye niliingia that nurse aliniangalia tu hivi akasema tu huyu ako na pressure, buka hapo kidogo. Hata venye aliniweka kando pressure yangu irudi chini, but my heart ilikuwa tu ina pounds inasema tu ama mtoto wangu anataka kutoka. Na anataka kutoka 21 weeks. Nini ndo itafanyika with my life, with my marriage.
At Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital, she was stabilized and treated. After 3 days, she was sent back home with medicine.
Sasa nilikuwa nazimeza once. Sometimes I used to not to kuzimeza. But later on, nitazimeza maybe nikisikia dizziness, I'm having a slight of headache. Alafu pia kama tumbo inaniuma huku juu.
At 37 weeks, her body reached a breaking point. Sharp and relentless abdominal pains sent her back to hospital.
Anataka kutoka kama amekufa, mama anataka kutoka kama kwa alive. But it went well, nilipush vizuri, but mtoto alitoka mdogo kabisa. Alikuwa mdogo. My grandma used to say, huyu mtoto wako mwenye anatushana na kikombe, because hata kumbeba ni shida. But venye alitoka kama the umbilical cord imemwrap all over his body, and I was like, wow, huyu mtoto atasurvive kweli. Juu hata kulia hakulia. The doctors tried wamshake venye ni mdogo hivyo, wamshake ali. Baadaye wakamweka kwa incubator. Walimweka for around 1 week. Sasa nilikuwa naendanga hapo na muangalia. Naweza ajua mama wenye wako pregnant wapende kwenda Hosi. It's very important. Huyu mtoto ya kwanza nampenda juu kama ingekuwa Mungu hata si angeenda, juu nilikuwa na complications nyingi by that time. Na nikikompare na wenzangu wao wanapitia na wengi wao huwa wana miskari.
Lynette and Maureen's stories end in light. Many others do not. A study of 54 referral hospitals across the country found that preeclampsia and eclampsia stand among the deadliest threats to mothers. The 2024 Maternal and Perinatal Death Surveillance and Response Report confirms the pattern. A deadly mix of delays that turns manageable conditions like eclampsia fatal. For many, the care received is too little, too late, or too broken.
For example, someone comes in with preterm labor, there is what you're supposed to intervene so that you prepare that baby to be, the baby's lungs to mature fast enough so that delivery can take place. But then most of the time we do not have those medications. I mean things like dexamethasone in our facility. Now we are forced to refer such a patient with no medication, and those medications are started later after they've arrived in the facility that we've referred. So that is a challenge. We would like that those medications be available so that we do not delay intervention.
Magnesium sulfate is the WHO recommended first-line defense against eclamptic seizures. Yet, according to the Kenya Health Facility Census Report of 2023, nearly half of the facilities in the country don't have it. Where it exists, some staff hesitate to use it, paralyzed by a lack of specialized training or a fear of its potent side effects.
This mother came in. When we took the vital signs, they were a bit high. When we took the sample for urinalysis, we were still waiting for the results. Unfortunately, this mother convulsed. At that time, I panicked because I thought something wrong had happened. So we had to struggle with my colleague, who was the housekeeper, just to put the mother back to the couch. What we need was just to give this mother the magnesium sulfate. To me, it was quite challenging because that was the first time I was meeting undiagnosed preeclampsia, changing its condition to eclamptic condition.
For Justus and his team at the Lumumba Hospital, that moment now feels distant.
I don't want to say that all are comfortable, but 3/4 of the staff that are in maternity are comfortable in administering the magnesium sulfate.
For women flagged as high risk, a daily low-dose aspirin can cut the odds of preeclampsia by 10 to 20%.
I do use it quite often actually in our high-risk clinic, and it has been shown to be effective in minimizing especially the severe forms of preeclampsia. But currently we don't have standardized protocols for use, especially for those who are not obstetricians, and we understand not all facilities have obstetricians. So maybe if we have a county or a national policy or a protocol that may guide use of aspirin, then I think that will be of help.
Now there's a classification that you have to do. Not all mothers must take this. There are mothers who are likely to get preeclampsia, history of hypertension, previous preeclampsia, and all that kind of thing. So we must enumerate them. And we must make it easy for the person at the lowermost to know that this is a high-risk mother, because they can't score, they don't have time.
To break the cycle of loss, Kisumu isn't just counting deaths, it's investigating them.
Remember the Titanic? When that guy saw a small iceberg, he assumed it, but that's what crashed down his ship. So the tip of the iceberg means that what you see, there is much more that you don't see. It's an important time to look and review the whole health system, from the time the woman got pregnant until she died. Why did this happen? Why did you not give this medicine? It was not there. Why was the medicine not there? Somebody didn't order for it. Why didn't the person order for it? You go up to the last why.
Globally, prediction has leapt beyond symptoms to biomarkers and machine learning tools that catch 9 in 10 early cases. Here in Kenya, survival hangs on spotting risk in time and linking women to the care that can save them. Beyond hospital walls, the system itself must shift so survival becomes a steady flow and not just a rare wave.
We have the basics of the heuristics at the laboratory level, Do we have the hypertensive drugs at the point of care in the MCH where the mother is being seen? Do we have the magnesium sulfate, the calcium gluconate, the patella hammer, to identify toxicity of magnesium sulfate? Are we having the stethoscopes because we have to manage this mother comprehensively? So availability of the basic equipment, availability of the drugs, the products would also be a key takeaway.
For the women who have weathered this storm, their plea is no longer a whisper for mercy, but a demand for a system that holds as firm as a mother's resolve.
Emerging nurses, mtu akikuja maybe hosi, okay, ukisha monitor ati ako na pressure, these words za ati weka tu hapo hiyo pressure yako unajua inaweza toa huyo mtoto. Those such words can make someone even to faint.
My major advocacy would be around risk stratification of mothers. We realize that nowadays every pregnancy is a risk. A mother would come and walk with you very well, but by the time she's in her final trimester, that is when she complicates. Then you end up either losing her or losing the baby. Our neonatal mortalities are equally quite high compared to what we have nationally. We are at 21%. Nationally is about 20%. So we still have a lot of work to do around this. We still need to improve on the quality of care that we're giving our mothers, especially in the antenatal clinic.
Impact is difficult for people to see. It takes time for people to realize impact, but you can already use the indicators, the quasi indicators, to see that you're moving towards that direction. And that makes me happy. I believe in the next 2-3 years, if Kisumu continues on this progress, we will actually hit those indicators the way we want to.
Well, indeed, preeclampsia and eclampsia, two manageable and treatable conditions, but deadly, as that story tells us, upon delays.